Today we are at Warren Golf Course in South Bend, Indiana. Warren is a special place for a few reasons. First, because it is home to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And second, because any chance to play a course designed by Bill Coore and Ben Crenshaw is a treat. We got here right at the beginning of an hour-long torrential rainstorm, which had most of the course underwater for a bit, but the course drained incredibly well and was still totally playable. This was on hole 2, but by the end of hole 9, it was fine. This storm caused a delay, so there was a bunch of people waiting on the first tee when we went off, and my wife was very uncomfortable filming this opening tee shot. Apparently, I was not ready for this opening tee shot either. I didn't have the tripod out yet, so I luckily found my ball and hacked it out of the heather just short of the green, where I'm chipping from now. You might not be able to tell from this video just because I'm not a professional videographer, but even though Warren is built on such a flat piece of land, the golf course design and the features are just incredible. It's such a fun golf course to play, and it is really beautiful. I think one of my favorite parts about it is the bunkering and the green complexes, and especially the approach shots into the green complexes. They just look so good visually, and they really require you to think and to hit excellent shots. It's when I play great golf courses like Warren that it just causes me to reflect and appreciate on the game of golf. And I think golf is so addicting for a number of reasons. But I think one of the biggest reasons that golf is so addicting is because it's impossible to master. No matter how many rounds I play, no matter how well I think I'm doing, there's always something just out of reach. This round is an example of that. I played well, and I still left a couple shots out there. Arnold Palmer once said, "Golf is deceptively simple and endlessly complex." I couldn't agree more, and I think that's exactly what draws me in. I think that's why the game is so addicting. If you think about it, those things in life that are difficult tend to be the most rewarding. Golf is the same way. Challenging golf courses like Warren, I usually find that those are the most fun. High pressure moments. Think about it. They either become the stories that we tell over and over again for years, or they're the stories that we can't escape from and that haunt us in our dreams. I've experienced both of those in this game. I've had incredibly fun matches with my friends. I've also won a couple tournaments in college, and I can remember them very vividly. And a highlight of my golf career was I qualified for the 2020 USGA 4-ball championship at Philadelphia Cricket Club. The problem was that tournament was canceled that year. That was devastating. Also, there's a few tournaments in college that I still think about as kind of the ones that got away. I never made it to my conference championship in college, either as a team or as an individual. That was our goal every year, and we never got it done. I still think about that, and I just have to let it go at this point. But it's funny how things work like that. The moments that break you and the moments that shape you in the best ways often come from the same circumstances. The difficulty and the pressure. I don't think that just applies to golf. I think some of the most difficult and most challenging parts of my life have really been the most rewarding. Last year, I earned my master's degree. That was a lot of work, super rewarding. I've been married for several years now, learning how to love and to grow and to be a better husband and man in marriage is incredibly difficult, but so rewarding. Figuring out how to parent, to be a dad. It's been just over a year now. Trying to figure that out one day at a time. Very difficult, incredibly rewarding. These are hard things, but they are so, so good. The more I grow in my relationship with God, the more I see how closely golf mirrors our life of faith. I think in the same way that golf is simple but endlessly complex, I think the good news of Jesus is surprisingly simple, and at the same time, it's endlessly deep. You could think about it like this. We've all lived selfishly, but Jesus lived selflessly for us. We've turned away from God, but in Christ, God welcomes us back. It's that simple. It really is that simple. And yet, God isn't just offering a belief system to agree to. He's not just offering a set of beliefs that you're supposed to say yes to. He is inviting us into a relationship, one that will completely change and transform us, starting with the inside and working its way out into our life. You see, we're not just learning facts about God. He's not just a subject to study. We are spending time with him. We are getting to know him. And as we walk with him, we're following him. It's simple, but it's very complex. And there will never be a moment for the rest of my life where I've arrived. There is always more to discover about who God is and about who I am and how to live for him. In the same way that I will never arrive in golf. That's how it feels to walk with God. And just like how with golf, the most challenging rounds of golf are typically the most rewarding, that's the same when it comes to following Jesus. It is not easy. In fact, it's probably the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. Following Jesus means dying to myself every single day. It means surrendering to a love that costs something. It means opening myself up to God and allowing him to search every part of my life, and then to wring out the sin and the selfishness that leads me farther away from him. It is really not easy, but it is so worth it. Following Jesus is the most important, most rewarding thing I have ever done in my life. And the good news of Jesus, the message of Jesus, presents us with the most urgent decision any person will ever face. And that is, will you turn and start to follow him and walk with him? to surrender your life to Him? He loves you and wants the best for you, by the way. Or will you continue to live on your own terms, deciding what is best for yourself? This is the most urgent decision any person will ever face. These stakes about the good news are way higher than any golf round, any championship, any tournament. My prayer for you is that you really consider this decision. You really consider the message of Jesus, and eventually that you would see His goodness and that you'd begin to walk with Him. I hope this has been encouraging to you. If you have any thoughts or questions, leave them in the comment section. Just like this video, subscribe if you want to hear more like this, and we will see you on the back nine.